You guys are 5-1 in conference play to start this season. What are some of the biggest things you took away from the non-conference slate that you think are attributing to this team's success so far?
Um, Probably I think the biggest thing is that our girls never give up. That was a big thing for us to learn. I mean, we've won, I think, 14 games, and only one of those has been by two runs. Every other one of those wins has been by one run. So I think it just shows a lot about the determination they have, the resilience they have. Those are kind of things that we can't really teach. So it's nice to see that the girls just have that in them.
Well, for you, Maggie, it's year one at the helm of this Charleston program, but year three total as you were the assistant coach for 2 seasons prior before becoming the youngest Division One softball head coach in the nation. Just what have you learned about yourself in this process and in this role?
Um, I think I got tested a lot in the past 2 years, of just being thrown into a lot of things and figuring it out as I went. And I think being a head coach is the same thing. Every single day you show up and you don't know what's going to happen and what you're going to have to do. But I think I've just learned that it's okay to not be right and it's okay to mess up and it's okay to show that you're a person. And I've just tried to stay just really humble in the fact that I'm not going to be right all the time. I'm not going to get it right all the time. And I have a lot of people around me that are helping me continue to develop and continue to learn, my staff and all of our players really too, like just showing them every day that I'm going to show up myself and I'm going to be authentic and I'm not going to get embarrassed about making mistakes. And I try to show that to the girls too. And I think that's just the biggest thing that I've learned.
Youngest softball coach in this league, just also equipped with some of the best freshmen and sophomores in this league as well. How have you seen youth as a strength? Because I know a lot of people can sometimes look at that youth and think it's a negative, but I feel like it's kind of shown that it's been a positive for this group.
Yeah, I think there's just something to say about, I mean, when you're young, you have so much passion and over time you learn more from experience, of course, but I think that just like undeniable passion is kind of what burns through our whole program right now and just the desire to every day show up and get better. I mean, I love softball, but I love these girls so much and I think that they love softball and they love our staff and they love the school and I mean, at the end of the day, like that's what drives confidence. That's what drives working hard. And um, I mean, our freshmen, sophomores, and then juniors and seniors too, who like were here before I got here, they have bought into everything. They're so grateful. They're so happy every single day, which is awesome to see. And they've really followed in the footsteps of their younger peers of like, this is the way that we're going to do it. We want to win, and we're going to win. And youth I think it's a funny conversation because a lot of people use it as a compliment when they talk to me about it. And then I know some people when they're not talking to me don't use it as a compliment. But I like to say, like, come to one of our practices, come watch us in a game. In your opinion on age will be like irrelevant really at that point. I think with our girls and me and my whole staff too, it's like at the end of the day, we're all here for the same reason, and we know what that is, so it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks.
That's awesome. I love that. You've got, I think, 19 returners. How much confidence does that give you about what you're doing, what you're trying to build at Charleston, and the culture created with this group when you have so many people that were already bought into what you were doing that stayed?
Yeah, I think in the summer that was the biggest blessing is just to have so many girls. We didn't have anybody leave after finding out about the coaching change, and I think that was just the biggest blessing of like, okay, I'm in the right place, doing the right things, and people are wanting to do this and wanting to see success out of it, and I think that just means so much to me. That meant a lot for me, like hiring a staff and getting to show them that, hey, people are already bought into like what I'm trying to sell and uh we have a really good foundation. I think as far as like building upon the success of last year, we have a lot of different expectations from the girls. We have a whole new level of intensity, a different style of play than we've had before, which is pretty easy to see once you watch our games and everything. We're just a very different team, even though it is a lot of the same girls. But it's a lot more gritty type of play. It's a lot more capitalizing on mistakes.
talking a little bit more about the X's and O's, you guys are excelling in that short game once again. I think 63 stolen bases this year, good for 12th in the nation. And you've got a freshman in Conroy, which awesome name, by the way, second in the nation with 23 stolen bags. Just what do you guys, or why are you guys so good at applying pressure on those base paths, and what's special about Conroy?
So we've talked about that since I hired my associate head coach Rob Sidwell. That was one of the first conversations we had about, my philosophy, especially within our conference, is we need to run until we have to put the brakes on. And that would be like back against the wall, can't run anymore. And so we just try to keep pushing the limits, keep just trying to make other people make mistakes, put the pressure on, get runners in scoring position, and that's what's really helped us. Bronwyn is elite speed, and she's also just a gamer. So, not only is she going to get a really good jump, and she's very, very fast, she also knows how to run the bases, and she has good instincts, and she slides well, dives well. So she's a really hard out no matter what. And she's gotten thrown out a few times, and that has not stopped us at all. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing it. Even in the same game, like we're going to try it again. And I think that's just a threat that looms in the back of people's brains too, of like, oh my gosh, when is this girl going to go? And a lot of them too. We have a bunch of girls that have like over 5 stolen bases. I think Leela has 10 or 11. So just a lot. We're aggressive with everybody. It doesn't matter who they are. Bronwyn happens to get on a lot, which is really awesome for us. And especially as a freshman leadoff, that's a huge role, huge shoes to fill. We had a girl graduate, Jay Wrightsman, last year who broke our school stolen base record. So having Bronwyn almost already being at that record with a lot of season left is really exciting.
And taking a look at the pitching staff, I remember Mackenzie Mathis from last year covering the tournament. She was awesome not only to watch, but just to talk to about Charleston as well. How important has her consistency been, not only pitching with the staff changes, but also being a leader on the field?
Yeah, Mackenzie is a one of the most energetic players that you will ever watch. She talks nonstop to herself and to her teammates mid-pitch. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But I think one of the best things about her is that she's an elite pitcher. She's throwing harder than ever. She spins the ball like crazy, and if they swing like I mean, she has a lot of confidence in herself too, but she really inspires everybody to be better as well. She's made our whole pitching staff have to step up in different ways. And we always talk about like, appropriate times to be competitive with one another. And in the bullpen, they're very competitive and they all want to step up and close that gap between each other. And we've had a lot of people step up in different ways. Riley Cutter, since conference started, right before conference, has really stepped up and done really well. And we've pitched a lot of people. We have 8 pitchers. So we've gotten a lot of people, a lot of innings. And I think Mackenzie, obviously like being a pretty big part of that and just being reliable, able to start, able to close, able to relieve, like all of that is just huge for us. And our defense plays really, really well behind her as well.